CDL or bust continues, and we are with our buddy Joey Wilson Jr. And you hate to use a cliche, Joey, but the third time was the charm, huh?
Yeah, usually three's an unlucky number for me, but it was all right today.
Why is three an unlucky number for you?
It just always has been for some reason. Every time I go to do something the third time, it usually turns out worse than the first two.
Well, then may I suggest you don't have a Joey Wilson the third? Perhaps that would be a better idea.
Yeah, that's why I named my son something different.
So this morning you were supposed to be testing at 9 o'clock, and then something changed.
Yeah, just because I was down there early, and they said that the tester usually he gets down there earlier than Evan does, and he'll go ahead and get people out of the way. I guess so he can go home early. But
When did you find out that, one, it was going to be earlier, and two, it wasn't going to be Evan as your tester?
I found out that it wasn't going to be Evan Monday afternoon. They called me here at Truck America and left a message letting me know that it was going to be Jerry instead of Evan, which made me happy, especially after cussing Evan out. And then I just talked to Sean and Bob and them. They said usually if I was down there early, he'd go ahead and take care of me, and he ain't worried about the time for real. And he got me out of the way first, but then again, he didn't have to do everything with me. He only had to do the driving part.
Speaking of the driving part, did you practice at all the day before with Bob or Sean?
I went down there yesterday and ran through it one time with Ed. As soon as I got there, he was like, let's go, like, cut into the class that's preparing, I guess. But now I only went around once, and I was like, am I good? He's like, yeah, you can go home. He's like, you did fine with me. He's like, just do it tomorrow.
So you showed up, and the poor students who are just shelling out all their money, it's like the king shows up. He gets to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the last class, my class would have said the same thing. I just do whatever I want.
So when you came to that light on the practice yesterday, Joe, were you real careful? You know, there's no way I'm messing this light up.
Yeah, but yesterday and today, like, it was red whenever I was coming up to it, and I made sure I was far enough back that I could shift into fourth and go through it as quickly as possible. But today I had a truck in front of me, though, one of them from the other class training.
Oh, my.
But I got underneath the light close enough, but I was like, I had to downshift almost a second trying to, because they're taking forever to turn in, and I'm like, come on.
The driving piece takes, what, about 15 minutes?
Yeah, about.
Okay, so you've driven about, what, 12, 13 minutes. You know that light's coming up. You go, all I got to do is just make this light. I'm done. I got my CDL. And there's a TAT student driver in front of you. You're going, right, this can't be right. There's not going to be a truck in front of me at this light. Is that what's going through your head?
I was just like, man, I hope I can get underneath this light. But I'm sure from everything I've heard, Jerry would have understood if it turned yellow when I was in the intersection. So.
But it was green the whole time you were in the intersection.
Yeah, it was green until I got underneath of it. I don't know what happened after that, so I wasn't concerned with it no more.
It was sort of like
can't see it, I can't.
It was sort of the green light to your CDL, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, because it's over after that point, and as long as I don't hit that curve. But I've not hit a curve in any of the trucks that I've been driving. So
there's a cliche, go back with the third time's the charm, that you feel like you really achieve something more when you have to go through a little adversity. If you're always a straight A student, you don't appreciate A's as much as somebody who maybe gets C's, works real hard and gets A's. Do you feel in some ways you learned something out of all this, that there was something to be said for having to go through this 3 times? You feel like you really appreciate getting your CDL maybe more than Wayne did, who nailed it right away?
Well, I mean, I appreciate it, but it makes me realize, that there's still some, out there that just do what they want to do, because that tester, I mean, he don't need to be a tester, because everybody said I shouldn't have failed my first time because of his error.
How good did you feel this morning when you got into that parking lot, turned the engine off, and you knew you had passed?
No, it was great. Of course, I messed with Sean, and Sean called my girlfriend and everything, and was texting her. I said, hey, tell her that, I failed, and, I left out of here. I didn't say nothing to you, and we got real good joking with her this morning. So
very nice. One of your classmates was down there this morning, too, kind of unexpectedly, because Anna was supposed to test next week.
Yeah.
What happened with Anna, as far as you know?
Well, she jumped in the truck as soon as I got out, They did her paperwork and all that. She went and did the range again, the part she failed last time. She did straight line backing good, and she did offset all right. She got that parallel parking and just couldn't get it in there. And the tester let her get up to 15 before he was like, hey, I was just going to see if you could do it. He's like, but, you're up to 15. You've already failed. And we didn't know that until she was driving past us. We thought she was going to the driving portion of it. And she stopped right by where we have all our trucks parked. She got out and said it was a waste of time coming down there. But, I think it was just her. It was the same thing down here at the range. I think she just gets over anxious or something, or her nerves get to her where if she can't get it the first time or how she thinks she should get it in there, she just keeps kicking herself, and it just makes it worse. It brings that anxiety up a little bit for her.
You said after she got out of the cab, she was driving. I got confused there. She was driving to go to the test. She was driving her own car. She was driving the truck. What was she driving?
Yeah, she was in the range doing the driving part, and that the tester made her drive back over there by us and park the truck.
Got it. What advice can you give her right now, Joey? Did you try to say anything to her? Did you comfort her at all? What could you say?
I mean, we talked a little bit, but she was more. I think she was just upset and ready to get out of there. But I mean, if she watches this, obviously it took me 3 times, and everybody knew I already had my B's, and I've been driving, and none of the tester or trainers thought that I would even fail. Out of everybody, they thought I was doing pretty good, and obviously it happens. Little stuff catches you up. I talked to my dad and grandpa about the test, how it went. They got grandfathered in. And they tell them some of the stuff, they're like, I don't even think I'd pass right now. Just.
And I know you guys are different personalities because you don't tend to get nervous. You tend to get upset, and she tends to get nervous. But is there anything you think you could say to her or anybody else can say to her right now to help calm those nerves for next time?
Tell her just realize, there is a next time. It's not like it was, one and done. Like she has to pay, more money to do it. Just, slow down. Don't let that, that time, mess with you. You got all the time in the world, and just take it easy. Which way you need to turn it. If you start going more and you're backing up or whatever, and realize it's not going the way you want it, stop. In the first foot of you backing it up, you'll realize that wheel's messed up and not the right way that you want it. And then just slow it down.
Joey, you just said all the time in the world. Now you've got all the time in the world to decide what you want to do. I know you mentioned to me before you've got some connection to a local company that does some hauling. What do you think you're going to do now?
Well, I'm going to talk to my girlfriend and see what she wants to do. What she would like, because of course, I'm probably not going to go over the road because, I'm sure she wouldn't like it. Plus, I know my grandfather ain't in good health, so I ain't trying to be too far away for something like that because, he would kill me. But I've put in a couple applications. I've talked to some people. They were just waiting on me to get this stuff done. I wasn't gonna sign with anybody, just off the rip. I wanted to make sure I had my stuff first, but at least I'd talk to them and let them know what I was doing and going from there. So.
When do you think you want to make a decision by? Do you have a deadline in your head? I got it by next Friday, or do you have any idea?
Well, I'm sure by next Friday. I'll be good and I'll be somewhere. So.
All right. Well, congratulations. We look forward to hearing where that is and to staying in touch with you, Joey. Perseverance. Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it. You have a good one.
You too.